So, how was the game last night? I tried to wait up for you, but that game was exhausting.
Oh, it was great. It was great to take in a Preds game in Vancouver where they won. 2 goals for Stamkos, 2 power play goals, no less, and the sound of utter silence from Canucks fans when Nyquist got that empty net goal late in the third period.
Sounds like a great time. I wish I was there.
Oh, and I have a gift from you. The best friend that I went to the game with, his friend went to Nashville. His last name is Hiller, so he had one of these hats, and my best friend thought you should have it.
Oh, what? For me? Let me try. Oh, a Preds hat from Nashville. This looks pretty good.
You ever just want to get down on one knee and thank the hockey gods upstairs that Phil Forsberg is a Nashville Predator?
Hey everybody, it's Jersey Guy.
Hold my beer.
Are you sure you want me here? Hat trick watch, anybody? Is it really somewhere that we owe a massive debt to the hockey gods?
Again and again and again.
Feel like a kid again, Johnny. Is happening? Is this happening? Is this happening? This isn't an ad for some dang cookie. I want a piece of that action. Well, you don't have to tell me twice.
What do you have to tell me that is going to make me feel positive? And
Maybe the Titans won't let us down on Thursday.
Preds, walk it off!
Okay, on with Johnny's reaction video.
Redemption take you home.
Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the Vancouver Canucks by a final score of 5-3 inside Rogers Arena Sunday night in Vancouver, BC. They snapped a 3-game losing streak that was only a week long but seemed to go on forever and ever and ever. Sunday night's game is the kind of statement win that you expect from this team. Can they finally build from it? Now, Preds Nation, I have seen a variety of Preds victories in the city of Vancouver, being a fan from this team from day one and going to a variety of games over the season inside Rogers Arena or General Motors Place. I was at the Dan Ellis shutout victory where the Preds were massively outshot, like 17-something years ago. I saw Calle Jarnkrok get the OT winner in person during the Preds' 10-game win streak during the President's Trophy season. I saw the 3-0 comeback where Matt Duchene scored in the shootout 2 seasons ago when I could finally return to hockey games in person. But I have seen the low points like Elias Pettersson get a penalty shot goal against Pekka Rinne on my side of the ice. Oh, what fun that was. And oh, after a game like that, how I wanted to do the Preds fan reaction in person from Rogers Arena, but the in-house music would never shut off, and I learned after the Arizona Nashville game back in February that I can't have any background noise or else YouTube will not allow me to get any ad revenue moving forward. So I had to wait until this morning to give you my analysis and feelings about that victory. Back to the game. Mad props to Zachary Heroux on your first career NHL goal. This fan base knows how hard you've worked to finally make it onto the big team from Milwaukee and how hard you've worked these 11 games since you got called up to finally get rewarded for your effort. And I was happy that one, I finally got to see a Preds draft pick score his first NHL goal in person, and I was on that side of the ice when it happened. My goodness, the Preds were pressing early, about just over 5 minutes in, and puck in front of former Preds goalie Kevin Lankinen. What a matchup this would be in net, Lankinen versus Saros. But the puck is in front, and Cole Smith gets it over because he has a presence of mind to know he's there. Gets it over to Zachary Heroux on a wide open net. He makes no mistake on his first career NHL goal. And I'm like 4 rows up. I'm like, yes, I knew instantly. Telling a couple Preds fans around me and my buddy with me, that's his first career NHL goal. Another Preds historic moment crossed off the bucket list of me with being a fan of this team. After Atu Rata had tied it for the Canucks in the first, 8.5 minutes into the second period, when Colton Sissons took a roughing penalty on former Pred Keither Sherwood no less, I decided to open my big fat yap and brag to my buddy, hey, let's see the Preds' league best penalty kill go to work. I was proud of the fact that the Preds, 19 games into the season, have the league's best penalty kill. Well, guess what happens on this Colton Sissons penalty? A minute and a half into it, Elias Pettersson, because of course he does, scores to give the Canucks their first lead of the game. And I found out, Sportsnet this morning, that I probably would have been a lot more stressed out in that moment when he scored that goal, because coming into this game, the Canucks were 7-0 against the Preds if Pettersson scores a goal. So I'll take it. If this team had lost this game, that goal had been on me for jinxing it. I was afraid that momentum was going to start swinging the Canucks' way. Like I said in the intro, I was at the game where Pettersson scored a penalty shot goal against Rene that got him pulled before Saros came in, and the Preds still lost the game. But to my surprise, along with the Canucks scoring on that one power play chance, guess what also showed up in this game? The Preds power play on Nils Höglander delay of game that everybody saw on the ice. I saw from my vantage point because he clearly knocked it out over the glass with his glove, that eventually on the power play, wow, Steven Stamkos on the far side of the ice from where I was sitting goes glove side on Pred's former goalie, a goalie he never played with though, over Lankinen's glove side. And just like that, the Preds have tied this game at 2. Stamkos was probably tipped off by his former teammates, hey, on Lankinen, go high glove side. And it gets nervous again because almost 2.5 minutes later, Keither Sherwood has a clean cut breakaway. Nobody can catch him. And he's in on Lankinen, his former teammate. And whew, I take a big sigh of relief as he fans on a shot, but I can't stay still for long because moments later the puck goes the other way and Josi is set up from Lankinen's left on a one-timer that beats him, and the Preds are back in front 3-2. For good measure though, late in the second period, another Canucks penalty. Connor Garland for holding Gustav Nyquist, and Jonathan Marchessault redeems himself for that stupid giveaway at the end of Calgary game on Friday and sets up Stamkos, who thinks, hey, it worked the first time, let me try this again. Goes high, glove side, past Lankinen, and the Preds at the end of 2 periods have a 4-2 lead. Stamkos has 2 goals. In person, I was like, am I dreaming? Fast forward to under 7 minutes left to go in regulation, and I'm texting back and forth with a couple buddies who I've made over the years who live in Smashville, saying how great of a feeling it was that they were almost home and they were going to get this victory, and I was going to be there in person. And both of them were like telling me to humble myself, to calm down and wait until the final whistle. Well, of course, under a minute after I text both of them and they both tell me that same response, Keither Sherwood, yes, of course, because eventually he was going to score in this game, right? Scores to cut the Preds lead to 4-3. I will admit it, I still miss the Huntsman now and then, but unfortunately the numbers just weren't going to work to keep him with the Preds. Fortunately though, with the goalie pulled, Gustav Nyquist from distance shoots it into the empty cage to ice this game for the Preds. And though I was hoping that I would finally get to see my first Preds hat trick in person, I also didn't want to lose the Preds toque beanie for my American subscribers that I was wearing. But the more important thing is the Preds would ice this game with that empty netter and go on to win final score of 5-3. Maybe my first Preds hat trick will come again another day in Vancouver, or maybe in Smashville when I return once again. See, that last night is what I know this fan base appreciates out of this team, is when they get effort. Still not perfect, only 2 shots on goal in the third period. They have to ratchet up the number of shots on goal. When you do that, you're going to get more goals. But this game was an improvement from what we've seen this last week. I'd rather be in the Preds boat right now than with the Canucks, who, yes, are higher in the standings, but things are going to balance out for them because they're really good on the road, but they suck at home. I didn't notice being on one side of the ice during the game, but me and my buddy heard post-game driving home that JT Miller was benched for the last 14 minutes of the third period, and apparently there was one on-ice argument between him and Elias Pettersson. I'm glad it isn't one of the Preds stars who's having to be benched by Bruno. That should make for an interesting Canucks practice if you follow that team come Monday and Tuesday. I have to give you guys a fun thing, funny after the fact, but annoying in the moment. So I'm on the side that the Preds are shooting on twice, first and third period. So obviously Saros is on my side of the ice in the second period. All second period long almost. My buddy's sitting to my left, 10 seats over from him. I finally figured out who's doing this. Like, you know, at least we do the chant "you suck" thing after goals. All period long in the middle of a play when I'm trying to watch it, draining in my left ear. Saros, Saros, you suck. And like, part of me is thinking to myself, well, if you're going to do that chant, even though it's our thing, Preds Nation's thing, at least do it the full way. But you also look stupid because you don't do it the full way. And it didn't work, obviously, because Saros is used to that in Nashville, and it didn't work. And he shut up with the last minute in the second period after Stamkos made it 4-2. As for the Preds, they're now 1-1-2 on the 5-game road trip with Seattle left to go on Wednesday. This is a Seattle team that earlier this season embarrassed you in your old building. I hope that still lingers with you when you go into Wednesday night. I hope Sunday is a sign of better things to come leading into Wednesday. And then on Saturday, when you return home to face off against the best team in the division, the Winnipeg Jets. But I'm going to reserve judgment before feeling more confident about this team, before seeing what they have to show in a consecutive game situation on Wednesday night. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really like it. You can find my social media and interact with me during every Preds game by clicking on the channel name. Tell all your friends about Redemption. And who says Steven Stamkos doesn't have it anymore despite his slow start in Nashville? I saw with my very two eyes on Sunday night that he does.